try this.
It soon stop, I think. Well, eventually.
Oh, yeah, eventually.
Oh, it's doing its thing. Oh. I guess
Yeah.
I'll start by saying I don't like radio stations.
So this is a radio,
That's a radio
station.
station. The reason I don't like radio stations is because I hate ads. Radio stations are full of ads. And they usually, like, the host usually likes to talk within the song as well. And then in most cases, every hour, there's at least 5 songs they're going to play again. So it's a bit annoying.
Interesting enough.
So this is just the
Well,
temporary transportation for now. So we have to do the radio. I listen to K-Rock because it's the one radio station I find that tends not to play
Much
5 songs that I will know within every hour. Every time I'm listening, it's a different song. If a song does play twice, that's about it for the day. So, big up to K-Rock.
Well, radio has been really.
Cowboy, and I listen to K-Rock. Rooster just pisses me the bananas off.
When I was younger, I mean, radio is a really big thing. I mean, technology is not that.
It was, but then I used to have a cassette tape where I would record the song and stop it right after the ad. Record over the ad for the next song. Because I couldn't take ads. This is where I was coming. Where everybody coming here for? Oh my lord, it's full of people driving. Yeah. But anyway, enough with radios and ads.
You want to talk about what I want to talk about?
Yeah,
today?
yeah, exactly. That's where we were at.
Dude, I mean, yeah, I've said parts of it, but it's like for context, it's like met a person a few months ago, and then yeah, that person who I won't name, I mean, forced me to talk to my shadow yesterday, and I don't know if
that shadow's me.
that part of us that could deal harm, damage, and why it reached to that point. Because there was confusion and there was like information that could tip the average person to like deal harm and damage. Obviously, I'm hiding some information like for the safety of this person, but it's like what I want to talk about is the way I'm now acting after the talk with that part of me. See, the problem with hyper effective or intelligent people per se is like they know a lot, and when people know a lot, they can do a lot. And when these intelligent people find it hard to control their shadow, they will do intelligent harm. They will do intelligent hate.
I must say something first.
Sure.
About the intelligence, just so whoever listens understands. You know, you gotta get rid of just the educational part of intelligence, because there's other intelligence that other people can be. They can be reading people intelligence, they can be manipulative intelligence. People have other intelligence. So some educated people end up in a relationship with a manipulative, intelligent person who doesn't have a degree in anything. Could be retarded and everything else, but is very intelligent in manipulating people. So intelligence goes a long way, not just education. You gotta drop that.
Okay, let's be specific with what skills. Let's say I chose it. I chose that part. So yeah, to add to that intelligence part, I'm doing martial arts now. I know 15 pounds of pressure could break any bone.
Yeah. I didn't know that, and
oh yeah, so it's good to know, man. I mean,
that's knowledge. That's where we're at with the knowledge, where it's to know. You know, so you're knowledgeable in that. I didn't know.
And that's crazy. I mean, 15 pounds is not that what you call this? It's not that hard to get.
Because I'm lifting at least
tiles, man.
50, 60 pounds a day.
Yeah. So
or more.
More, I think. With the kind of work that you do.
Based on how my back feels, I would say a little bit, way more.
Especially we're in the construction industry. Easy to find things that could deal 15 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Okay, another skill that I know code. I can hack technically if I want to. And
Oh,
lastly, I know psychology. I could do
Okay,
puppets.
We're not doing that song. Yes, no.
I could do puppet strings, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's like these things I know. I won't. If I didn't know Carl Jung's concept of the shadow and what it helps people to become the best versions of themselves, I could choose those things, man.
Elaborate more on that, because
Your trick.
yeah, I want to know a little bit more.
Okay.
Because I have this little line that I got from a song that I like to use, and it's that shadow knows that shadow's me. So
Okay. I don't know if
almost
that
like
fit.
talking to my shadow.
Okay.
What it meant.
Talking
So
to it.
then
Okay. Let's expand it then. So the thing is, the thing is, the shadow. For Carl Jung, based on his book Ion, and he talked about it on a lot of his like psychological related books. So we humans are composed with four personality at the base level. So there's the anima, the animus, which is the feminine side and masculine side, and there's, I just forgot the other one, and then there's the very base, the shadow,
Okay.
which is like constructed like,
It's almost like you're putting layers together.
yeah, I mean, the subconscious is the other one.
Okay.
So this four at the base level, it's like the layers of the foundation of who we are. The subconscious is partly touches also the shadow, because see, the shadow is like more of the primal stuff that we have. So it's like our predator, let's say on the predatory, what you call this, remember the zebra story I told you before? Or the
when the
so
right target.
when we target something just to defend, to like eat, to the primal behaviors, it's part of the subconscious and also the shadow. So I'm tackling that part of me that, oh sorry.
Oh, that's me. Keep going.
So it's like I'm tackling that part of me that I know enough to understand that there are some like enriched habits at the primal level, like the martial arts thing, man. It's primal. We defend ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And knowing more than the 99% that you could deal more damage because of this body position, the blocks and everything, that's scary. If I don't know how to like understand that I have that capacity to harm and deal damage that way. So that's what I'm trying to talk about with the shadow.
Imagine the person that knows.
Sorry?
Because imagine the person that knows they can.
Yeah, I told you about that kid, 6-year-old kid that knows the base level of martial arts, and then she used a pencil and then break it in the other kid's body. So, and see, most people don't know these things, that we can encode bad behaviors over time, and I'm knowledgeable of that idea, that and that comprises parts of the shadow.
Over time, it's especially the first 5 years of a child's life, from birth to 5 years old. Whatever they see, take in, and hear, whatever, it's kind of what they become in a sense. It's what they carry with them. It helps them become who they are. It's their first identity, like that's filed in the lock. So the first 5 years are very crucial, is what I'm saying, for any parent out there. Is like that's the most important part of the life, is the first 5 years. What they learn is what they'll carry through. I learned some things before I was 5.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I learned a lot of things before I was 5. So I guess that's why I kind of grew up older faster.
I don't know if I have enough memory for my childhood before. But
I don't think you're supposed to, per se. Because how I see everybody seems to just kind of forget things that have happened and just move along. It's almost like we're not supposed to remember.
Or it became embedded some way, somehow.
But for me, because in my experiences in life, I was training myself to remember. I had to remember. I needed that evidence when shit hit the fan to say, no, I got it here documented so and so in my head or whatever. I remember this day. So remembering what is said, remembering what is done is always going to be my thing. And I think that pisses a lot of my friends and family off because they've done shit that they kind of just want to forget about. And I just can't seem to forget it. So when I bring it up, it does get under people's toes and pisses them off and hurts them, and it's like, okay, whatever.
Actually, dude, it's yeah. I'm gonna talk some memory science now. There are some. Okay, a cat was they had a research on a cat. They removed all of the parts of the brain, the cortices, and then what remained was the hypothalamus only. And the cat is still a cat that could be functioning, eating for a time, and then it died, obviously. But the thing is, what it told is we only need the hypothalamus for mammalians, hypothalamus for just the basic stuff, and then all of these parts of our brain is helping to recover information. So what I'm trying to say is, yeah. Okay. Huh. So what I'm trying to say is, each part of the cortices, the cortex, the pituitary gland, all of these things works at the level to control the other stuff other than, I mean, no, let's not that. It's controlling how to recover information from the past, so you won't make mistakes in the present and by moving forward to the future. So what I'm trying to say is, our brain is mostly for memory, but the thing is, we
I enjoy reading people, I want to say. I'm not 100% A1 sauce with it, but I'm doing pretty better than I used to. So I think if I spend more time around them, I would learn more, but I can't stand being around people.
it drains too much energy.
Yeah. You want to figure out what's wrong with the world today?
Oh yeah. There's a large. I mean, we're so dominant. We could adapt to all environments. May it be the Himalayas, may it be underwater. We could live underwater, man. There's like experiments being done underwater where people are living for 2 months straight.
There's this man that I know, I think it's in Indonesia or Thailand or whatever. They live on the ocean. They live on the sea. They're born on the sea on the little houses built on stilts on the ocean.
It's crazy,
so they
man.
just grew up swimming. So he can go under the water. I can't remember how long it is, but he just pretty much goes under and walks under the water.
I think I remember it's about a crazy minutes, right? 15 minutes without air.
Yeah, long period of time.
And it's like crazy depth too.
Yeah. And he just walks.
He walks,
on his feet, from coral to coral, touching everything with his feet, moving them right the fuck along. Like, it's nothing. And as I say, if he can do it, we can do it. Whatever anybody can do, you see them do, just know that you can do it. It just, his training was different than yours.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's all it is.
And
if you sit down and go through some of his training now, you can do it too.
But the thing is, it's becoming more murky to do these things because of the grid, electricity, internet,
and
social structures.
And on top of it, if you try to do it now as an older person, it is much harder to adopt and learn because you're so used to everything else. That's why they tell you the first 5 years of kids'
We
life
go
is
back
important.
to that idea.
Because
Right?
if he did that within his first 5 years, the next 50 was a breeze.
I wish we knew these things, man, before.
Like
But yeah,
he'd lived with ease doing it now.
it's crazy, right?
People ask, how do I remember? Let's say I got 3,000 songs on my phone. I know at least 90 to 95% of them word for word.
Oh, interesting.
Regardless of the genre of music, whether it's country, pop, rock, reggae, whatever. I know a lot of them word for word. That's a lot of memory reading.
I think so.
Now, if you ask me for the song out of the blue, I might not be able to tell you it.
Mm-hmm.
But the minute I hear it playing, the words will start to come back to me.
Interesting.
It's weird like that. If I try to remember the words, sometimes it's hard, but in most cases, it just comes back once I can hear the song.
So it's like you love the 100, let's say the 100% of the on that list of songs, right? You love every single song.
Yeah, I wouldn't say every single song, because there's certain songs I do have that I don't know why I have them sometimes. I'll be like, why did I buy this on iTunes, or why did I download this on this app? Like, what the fuck do I have it? But whatever. It was something at the time that made me like it, so that's why it's there, because that's the reason I put it there. And
Okay, that's what answers my question.
the thing with me is, when it means something to me, I don't want to get rid of it. So people tell me I should let go, and I'm like, yeah, but if it means something to me, I don't want to let go of it, right? So that's kind of why here.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
This bullet means a lot to me, from the person it came from too, so I ain't getting rid of that. There's a tattoo on my side, it means a lot to me, so I'll never cover it up, never do it over, regardless of if the individual does anything with theirs or whatever. This tattoo has, a meaning to me. So that's why I tell people, when I put tattoos on me, I make sure and spend the time to think about them, because once they go on, that's it. I don't take my jewelry off when I do anything. I work in them, I sleep with them, bathe, shower, run, take a flight. Whatever I do, my jewelry is always on me, it never comes off. So when things mean a lot to me, they stay with me. And I stick to it. So letting go was always hard for me if it meant something. I can let go of it if it didn't mean shit. So
that's what I tackled yesterday. The talk with the shadows. That talk was essential for me to accept that I will not resent, or I won't do something that would really be destructive.
remember that thing I said?
Because I could go that route where I won't. It's special for me with this person.
Could raise hell.
But if I maintain it,
Wouldn't be any good.
it would. Yeah, it's the way I did it.
I wish I'd remember that.
No,
Because I like to raise fucking hell over the shit. I would raise hell.
I used to, but now I understood that when it's like getting more knowledge became more of a responsibility for me now. And what I'm aiming for is the heroic story in a way, where I should be a node on preserving what society should be in moving forward. So, having said that, I accept that this person is not perfect. She did, or that. I'll drop a name. I'm gonna mute them. But it's like beep, beep. So I will definitely not regress to the things that I could really do, literally crazy do, for just the singular thing of like getting even, or like even finding the true essential parts of, or the truth of, for that matter.
I used to be that person to like get even, and I find out I like use the word vindictive now. Like that's a very vindictive thing to do. Stop trying to even the score is my new thing. Like it makes no sense, because if you knew you did right, then evening the score is going to make you do wrong.
Yeah.
So don't aim to even the score. If you believe there's a God, just let it be. Even if you don't believe there's God, leave it to time. Just leave it to time, because nothing bad really prospers. Mm-hmm. It may win, but it never prospers. Mm-hmm. So,
oh man, there's so much forces that we cannot control, and the only thing that we can control is ourselves.
Yeah,
that is what I'm choosing for this.
A lot of people don't realize that too. This is where we're going to go. I think that relationship talk is good, because a lot of people don't realize that the only person they can control is themselves, and they end up in relationships because they want to control
the other one.
Control the other person.
And this works for friendship, for family, for parents, for
everything.
for everything.
Everything. Because parents, that was my problem with, I think, growing up with me is I was forced to be under a control, and I did obey. And the more I obeyed it, the more stupid I realized it was. And I think this is what makes me so rebellious and so hard to love. And I walk away from anything. And that's what I was getting back to what I told you the other day, that Elton John had this song called Easier to Walk Away. And because I was, 8 when I came across Elton John CDs. And I loved music, I guess, at that point. I took in, that had 4 discs in it. It had over 100 songs. I know every one of those songs stayed word for word. And Easier to Walk Away is, I think, my programming when it comes to relationships. Because I don't care how much I love you. I really don't care how much I love you. If I can't see the reciprocation of it, I love me enough to leave.
That I should have learned too. I mean,
And that's what this situation with my wife is all about. Because I know how much I do love her, but I'm not seeing it reciprocated. I don't care what you want to say, I just don't see it being reciprocated. But I have enough love for myself to say, nah, I don't deserve to go through this shit. So I walked away, and I don't care. I miss her, and it hurts, and I feel. And I finally understand the next song by him now called The Bullet and the Gun of Robert Ford. As he says, he burst the bubble that both of us lived in, and I'd be damned if I ever get rid of this guilt that I feel. And that's exactly how I feel with her. But I had to. It's a two-way street. If I'm going up, you're coming down. If you're going down, I'm coming up. If it's a one-way street and we're both going up or we're both coming down, whatever it is, it's got 2 lanes in it. It can never just be one lane the whole time. And occasionally there's a little pull off. No, that don't work. And
but that is so essential what you just said for really fully grown or mature relationships. But you're starting something. Do you think it could apply to?
Huh?
I mean, discovery base of like, let's say I like this girl. Would you think that it should be a reciprocating thing ahead, or it's like there's a stage where it's a getting to know stage?
I think I do my best to pay attention from the start, because they may start off very well, playing a two-way street, and then eventually, once they get you in that program, it'll just turn into you on the one-way street if you're not careful. So it's like I just keep watching it the whole way through. I have to watch it.
Interesting.
And like I say, I see people do things, and I usually don't tell them. And it's because I need to see if it's a habit. That's my first thing to do. Like, people don't understand me, but when I watch you do something, I'm not gonna be like, yo, you just did that, I don't like that. No, let me see if he's gonna do it again. Oh, he did it again. Alright, let me see if you do it again. He did it again. Alright, let's keep watching, see how often he does this now. Okay, after 15 times, I'm like, alright, it's something he normally does. It's a habit. It's who he is. That's what he is. So now that I know that, I know where I'm going next. So people will see me just be friends one day, next thing I'm not. Next thing I don't want to be around you. I've noticed something. I should. My biggest problem is I should say, hey, look, you're doing shit.
Yeah,
I should.
That's my thing.
My thing is, that's why I say I'm quiet like a mouse, not sneaky like a rat.
Yeah, you talk.
You gotta let. To me, I have this thing about let people be people. That's who you are. I cannot change that with you, and me telling you that might put a lot of hostility between us, and I don't want that. So it's easier to walk away. Better off not to face the facts. When love holds you up for ransom, walk away. Don't look back. And I live by that Elton John song when it comes to love. It's a lot easier for me to walk away.
It's bloody brilliant.
Than to stay in it. And people don't understand it because everybody wants to fight. I'll fight, but I gotta have a good reason to fight. I have to have a reason that I'm gonna put the hand out. But if no reason, we can argue first. So, next thing, a lot of people don't understand, I don't fucking abuse women, I don't hit them. And I'm not going to. I'd rather walk away once again. I apply that walk away theory because, like you say, if you run away, you live to fight another day. So in theory, you just walk away.
Yeah.
You know, save the shit.
There's more essential battles to fight. What you just said is so clear.
Apparently,
I
love
learned a
myself.
lot from what you just said.
I hope a lot of people can, because you gotta learn to love yourself. And apparently, I didn't know I was doing it. Apparently, I do it. So I don't know why people tell me that I don't. I mean, there's times I'm down and I'm out, I'm depressed. Just like any other fucking human being. Like we all go through it. Not every day you can be up here. Some days you're gonna fall down. So it's all about the getting back up after. But yeah, that's just my theories, and I apply my theories to life, and I've learned all my theories through
Music.
songs.
Oh, fascinating.
People don't like listening to sad songs. I've learned that, oh, country music's depressing, oh, this and that song's sad, I don't want to hear it. Once again, Elton John also has this song called Sad Songs.
Mm.
And he says,
I think I like that.
when someone else is suffering enough, you know, this fool don't think I would squeeze my car between the two, alright? Wish I had my car. That would be so much more fun.
Fascinating.
But yeah, those are just my theories, like I'm saying. I just apply Elton John songs to my life. I apply a lot of songs to my life. Some country songs, a lot of them.
Now I know where the chunk of knowledge is coming from you now. I mean, I'm not saying it's the large part, but
No,
there's
but mainly, it's
experiences.
mainly music and experiences.
Yeah, music.
Because when I lived in a house full of people, so some strangers and everybody was just confined to their room and nobody wanted to do anything. I wasn't a TV person. I didn't enjoy TV like that. I would watch a movie and that's that, I guess, but like go to the movies. None of that shit excited me. TV never did. Something about music, I could feel it.
Interesting.
And that's why I say I listen to songs that give me feeling. I can listen to, there's this artist, Big Crit, K-R-I-T. Somebody put me onto one song of his called The Bigger Picture, and I love that song. So I went to check out every other song he had, and I don't like anything else. And I realized why The Bigger Picture was so much better, because he was singing about this chick, and it was actually a song where he was in his feelings. And at that point I realized I really do listen to songs for the feeling. Because if I can't feel you writing this song, I can't feel it. You don't even have to write it. It's how you sing it and what you're singing. Like if I can't feel it coming out of your eye, it's a shit song to me. Not every song I listen to for feeling, because some songs about the hype
Fascinating.
and the beat. But yeah.
What you call this? I mean, because why I'm intrigued by what your base knowledge structure is, because see, the things that I spit or say out there,
Yeah.
it's more on deep psychological materials from lectures and books and audiobooks, podcasts, but you can relate to them. That fascinated me, and that's why we're building a lot of talks like this.
I relate to a lot of songs, and there's a lot of songs that I can apply. I can remember the words and what they mean. Like I said, it was an original song by the Faces called, I think it was called Ooh La La, when it was by the Faces. And it was Rod Stewart did it. It was known as I Wish That I Knew What I Knew Now When I Was Younger. And the very beginning song says, poor old granddaddy laughed at all his words and thought he was a, what? Talk of women's ways. He said they'll trap you, they'll use you, and before you even know, love is blind, and if you're far too kind, don't ever let it show. I knew that song growing up, but I didn't understand it till I got older. And I realized, the girls would tell me, oh, you're too nice, you're too kind, you're this. And I realized, okay, that could be the problem. So you're not supposed to let it show. I just don't even want to be nice anymore. Just to that freaking point. Like, people just gonna, no matter if you let it show or not let it show, once they know you are, just going to take that like a cow and milk it for the fucking milk till they can't give you no more milk. And chop it up for the meat, sell the meat. Everybody's in it for themselves.
Well, that's a primal thing. I mean, we're wired to protect ourselves, find solutions to problems that will make us survive at the basic level. Survive, technically, it's like
So people look at me like I'm
eat,
stupid because I'm for everybody else.
shelter, breathe,
saying?
Okay.
Because I'm for everybody else. I'm not for myself. I never was for myself. It looks like I'm for myself because I like enjoy being around by myself. I like working for myself. I like working alone. I like doing things that keep people away from me. But it's not that I want people away from me per se. I don't like people, but it's not that I want them away from me per se. It's just that I know I work better alone. Because I'm starting to tell people this too, whether your commentary, whether your words to me are going to be positive or negative, I really don't want to hear them.
Interesting.
Don't come to me, give me any positive advice. Don't come to me, give me any negative advice when you see me doing something, because you're going to throw me off. I got my mindset that I can make this happen. Your positive criticism might make me doubt myself. Your negative criticism might make me doubt myself. I don't want to doubt myself, so just zip it. Don't say shit. I already see it. I can do it. When I fail, then you can come give me your criticism. Don't criticize me before I do it. Because in my head, I just see it being, yeah, I can get this done. I can make that happen. So that's why I pick back up the camera too, because I'm like, you know, I was only going to just shoot one thing and do one thing, but I said, you know what? I realized no matter what I went out to do with it, I always executed what I went to do. I always found the shot I'm looking for, as long as I trusted and believed in myself. So I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna go do it. Just trust myself. I know I'll find it. I ain't perfect, but I'll find my way. I don't try to be perfect.
Oh. I mean, aiming to like improve little by little, innovate, learn. But yeah, it ain't no perfect.
I used to say this too, and I used to say it. I never used to do it. I'm doing it more these days. How does it go again? It's a lot about learning. Learning's involved in this thing. Okay, if you ain't learning while you're living, then or just living by learning. If you ain't living and learning, then you ain't learning the thing about living.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. It
Yeah.
works both sides.
Yeah. If you're living and not learning, then you're not learning a thing about living. So you gotta learn every day, no matter what the circumstances, whatever comes out here, you gotta learn from it. A lot of people don't learn from it. I'm realizing that now. A lot of people, they get that experience, they go through that shit, they go home and cry about it, they get out, that's it, no more. They brush it off and move the fuck along. Fine, that works too. But before you did that, you should have learned something from it.
Yeah.
You should have taken the time, maybe even a week, maybe just dwell on it a little bit. It's, oh, you shouldn't dwell on it. Yeah, you shouldn't dwell on it. But I think you should. It's like they tell you shouldn't overthink. I think you should. I think the problem is you know, nobody's giving any thought to any experience they've gone through. They're just brushing it off their shoulder and moving the fuck along through it. And you're going to keep repeating the same mistakes or make even better ones. Better mistakes than those ones. So it's like, not learn first.
I mean, they don't mind the situation, right? They don't mind for like brilliant concepts that could have been uncovered. Oh, I failed at this, or oh, this person is this. I should pay attention more.
A lot of people don't like to fail.
Who likes failing per se? But
Me. I like it because I'm starting to enjoy the laughs you get when you fail. I'm starting to enjoy, look at him, he's a this, he's a that. I'm starting to enjoy that because when I see that now, it's like, all right, that you're laughing at me. Remember you laughed at you too. Just remember you laughed. Remember all you were laughing. Because you see when I climb back up and get back to the top, I'm not going to turn around and laugh back at you. That's not me. But I'm going to have the biggest smile on my face because you're going to be down there going, hey, remember me.
But the thing is it
No.
maybe that the thing that you like is the process of pulling yourself together after a failure? Not the failure itself.
It's the comeback.
It's the comeback, I think.
It's always the comeback.
Yeah, the process.
Because the joy is in the figuring out, okay, I know where I went wrong, how do I make it, how do I correct that?
Yeah.
Kind of moving back home, my mother's taught me that again, like, I realized a lot of things where I go wrong because that's where she's gone wrong. So I realized I can't correct her fucking wrong, I got to correct mine. And in this process of correcting mine, maybe, just maybe, it big. No, that's not going to be the hero. That's just going to be a well-made kid that had it well fucking made. And if it's not going to be a well-made kid, it's going to be a very ambitious and hard-working kid coming from nothing that made it big. But you're just not going to find them to be the hero. You're just not going to find them. Oh, squeeze right up behind you. I should get it 3,000 times, you know that, eh? I don't know. I drive like a madman. That's why the license plate of my other car says what it says. But when you see me, you should proceed with it. Yeah. I just think outside the box first. I didn't see that till I got older. A lot of things a lot of this stuff I haven't understood about myself until 2020. Anything after July 2020 is when I started having to give myself a real deep look into myself and let me see what was doing wrong, because I was doing something wrong. I was. That I needed to figure out. I had to redefine the word friend. Now, a friend told me that, and when I redefined the word friend, I cut him off my list.
Oh, interesting.
Funny.
No, I mean, you defined the concept.
He was the one that said, oh, you need to just sit down and redefine what you call a friend. And I'm like, I should. And I was thinking about this one thing I know that he did me, and it's still in existence. So it's like, yeah, you were right. I should redefine the word friend. So I did just that, and I cut off a few friends, and he was one of them.
Fascinating. I mean, how we coin ideas and make it part of like the reality that which is very necessary for us to move forward to whatever we do in life. But the thing is, the key is which ideas you propagate yourself or you use to handle reality. Like what you said, I mean, friends. Defining friends. Who is or
And not being who, questioning what is a friend. So
okay.
I get a good joke of this. One day I was thinking about this question, right? I never forget it. It was recent. It was like maybe a month ago, maybe just a little over a month. I had my drunk brother with me. He wanted to go to the liquor store, so we went. Goes in the liquor store. He gets the stuff. He's coming out. While he's coming out, at least for a day or two, I've been pondering this question.
Okay.
What is a friend? What is the definition of a friend? I've been pondering the question. Pulling out the reflections by the airport fence, and he goes, because he always goes, did I tell you this joke? Did I tell you this? He said, hey, did I ever tell you what the definition of a friend is? And I just smile, like, what the fuck? I've been waiting on this answer. It's just like, you don't know, you never did. What was it? Or what is it? And he says, a friend is somebody who hasn't fucked you over yet. And then I started laughing. And then I was like, for 2 days I've been trying to get the answer to this question. I don't know if that's the proper fucking answer, but I love that fucking answer because
I love that answer.
I think a friend is somebody who hasn't fucked you over yet.
But the downside of it is it doesn't factor forgiving. So, which is hard. So,
I don't think you have to factor forgiving in it. Forgiving should just be in it.
Or acceptance.
Because if you think about it, when Jesus walked the earth, he walked with people that was going to betray him. He walked with people that was probably talking dirty behind his back. He walked with all these fucking enemies around him.
Or wanting him to be crucified.
But he walked with that forgiving in him already. So they did shit to him, he had already forgiven them. Like, it was already in him, like he didn't bother. He didn't have to go say, well, I forgave you. We good, bro. You know?
But we all know that Jesus is a freaking meta hero. I mean, it's the meta story of like, civilization. The current Western civilization.
They treat him as if he was a king. They preach about him as if he was a king. They make you go to church and dress and donate as if he was a king. They do all these things with the Christian society, all of the Christian Jehovah, whatever religion shit. They do it all the same where they treat this man as if he was a king. And honestly, he is a king in our hearts, but he was not a king when he was alive. Jesus was a poor man that walked the streets. He was a poor man.
You mentioned that.
Yeah, he was poor. People need to remember that key factor. He was a poor man. He had nothing. Born with nothing, died with nothing. He died with our sins. That was it. He was a poor man. And if some strange reason, people like to think that, oh God, he was the king. He had red. He died. He was so prestige. Oh, you come. The Bible tells you come to church as you are, but you show up in a church as you are, and you hear them go, "Oh my God, how dare you come to the Lord's church just like that?" He wasn't a king, sweetheart. So just get off your high horse. You know?
But what? Okay, let me focus also my what you call this? My him being the meta's heroic story. I mean, he did the being him as a peasant or a poor guy. That was something. I mean, he sacrificed himself for mankind, despite him being poor, him being wanted to be killed by everybody.
And that's what makes the hero. That is what makes the hero. Because being able to sacrifice what you have just to see other people survive, even though you know their shit.
Meta sacrifice.
That's what the good Lord did. A lot of people have done it. If you think about all the world leaders that we had, and I'm not talking about presidents, I'm talking about like Malcolm X, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, JFK, people that tried to make a change and a difference in this world, Bob Marley, they kill them. And it's not that, like, I say they kill him, it sounds bad. I just want to say, like, somebody, that the person that usually kills those people are very close to those people.
Fascinating,
right? Yeah, they're usually very close to that person. And it's usually somebody pays them to shut that person up. Yo, your friend there, he keep talking plenty, we don't like that. It's $2 million here, we need to kill him. So, because it was the government that took out JFK. We all know that, regardless of what story they want to tell and what bullshit they want to sell you. Sell you, because they try to sell you bullshit all day, every day. And a new rule too is like take out bullshit, call bullshit when you see it. Is my new thing too. And that's that. I'm trying to enforce that. Because people, like I tell you, I'd see them do shit and I wouldn't do say nothing, I just keep watching it. I want to keep watching it too, but eventually I'm going to have to call it and say, hey, yo, that's bullshit, stop it. Because if not, you just let me walk over it.
Yeah, that's the hard part, man. If you say, this is the thing that now I'm battling with. If I let go of that part where this person hid information, that person will use it again, right?
Yeah.
Because the person got away. The person got away. And that thing is troublesome in a way.
I realize if you don't tell them,
You're part of the problem.
you could say that because they do it doesn't mean they necessarily know what they were doing too.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I've come to learn that because I was doing things I didn't necessarily know I was doing it because I was brought up that way with the way I was raised. So it's given fact that most likely that's what happened to most of them. They don't know they're doing it because that's how they were raised. It's coming to them as a natural act. And they feel like, hey, yeah, this is that. So not telling them is kind of me being part of the problem, yes, because I should tell them. Because then they'll understand why we don't talk. Then they'll also understand if they really care, they'd make an adjustment and change it. And that's how you kind of start to mess with people, is when you tell them, hey, I don't like this, then you gotta watch what happens next. That's how I feel. Me and you together, I see you do something and I say, hey, I didn't like that. Okay. You understood, alright, yeah, cool. Next time we out, you do it again, I say nothing. You do it again, I say nothing. You do it again, I say nothing. You do it again, you say nothing. You do it, it just keeps going and going till I just feel like, alright, there's that habit now. Because I told you already. I didn't like it. Now, don't look at me and say, well, you didn't remind me.
Yeah.
I didn't have to remind you. If you care enough about a person, they tell you, hey, I don't like when you smoke. Alright, cool. And then when I'm around you, I won't smoke. When you're not around me, and I know you're not going to be around me, I'll smoke then. You know what I mean? That's just showing you I care. Person tell you to stop, you can argue and say, well, I'm not necessarily going to stop, but like I said, I just won't do it around me, you know? That's what I call a balance, and you don't have to understand that that person you with don't like you smoking. That person has to also understand that you smoke. It's not a one-way fucking street. This is why I'm trying to explain to people how a two-way street works. So I smoke, you don't like that I smoke. I have to understand that. You also have to understand that I smoke. That's where the word compromise comes in. We make one. We come up with a way, alright, well, you don't like when I smoke in here, I won't smoke around you. When you're not around me, I'll do my smoking then. Can that work? Alright, yeah, that can work. But just know that I still don't like when you smoke, I'd rather you quit. Alright, well, quit not an overnight thing. We'll work on that. That's how you build relationships. You can get this thing, what I like to call is an empty promise, when you say, boy, babe, I didn't like this, or do we need to do this? And she'll say, okay, next time, yeah, I'll do that. The next time it'll be more this, the next time this. And next time never comes. And you sit down and you watch it. And it never comes. And then it comes, when you bring it back up, it's just an argument again, and it's always another promise, and then it just keeps going back and forth. So I guess it's this thing I like to call it the habit. And then I just pull the plug on the habit. I usually just walk away, and I think I'm gonna start telling people before I walk, hey look, I'm gonna walk away from you, but this is why I'm walking away. Because I just saw you did that, done to me, that's you. Hey, we can be cool when you see me, you say hey, I say hey, we move the fuck along. We don't. My father used to say it, or at least I heard him say it. Friends usually ends with N anyway. Ends with E-N.
Huh.
But that was the best definition I got, was a friend that talking about as a culture over here.
That's a great definition, by the way.
In most cases, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, in most cases. In most cases.
And that's what I was telling another person. I stopped using the word friend. I don't call him a friend. Because if you're truly a real person, I don't need to call you anything. I'll call you by your name.
I think that's a better thing.
I don't need to call you, oh, this is my friend, John. No, hello, this is John. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, if we that good, if we that close, I don't think I need to tell anybody this is my friend, Mark. No, this is Mark. I don't need to bring up that word, this is my friend. No, I don't need to do that. This is just what the fuck this is. We good, we cool. This is Cody. It's Josh. No? It's Alex.
I think that's a better way to frame it.
And we just keep, because
it's like, instead of making lists.
No, I might know somebody that say, yeah, this my friend so and so. Like I met, and I didn't want to do that. Like I just want to say, oh, there's a queen that's fucking.
That's weird. I mean, I'm kind of implementing it that way now. I mean, as a person, let's say I know this architect, or I know
you could
this
have a
certain
girlfriend,
customer, or I know them by name. I know them by names, and I don't tag them as a friend. I just know them by themselves, which relates to what you're saying. I mean,
if you know somebody just by their name, you are a generally good person. And I say that, and I go to coffee when I say it, because a lot of people, I go to places and I hear my name shout, and I'm like, yeah, and then like, I don't know that motherfucker though. I mean, give or take, I might not like. I was at the construction site that was yesterday. Sunday, no, it was Friday. Saturday, it was Saturday. And this other brother on the Phoenix site kept calling me Kendrick, and I'm like, no, I'm not. And then I moved from where I was to stop on something else to do something, and he looked at me and said, oh shit, that's Reagan. And I was like, there we go again. And I was like, yeah, me. He like, boy, you look like so and so. Boy, I not seen you in a long time. What were you doing in the construction field? I was like, I just usually get that, oh, that's Reagan, the freak. But I realized that I was not bullshitting people.
Mm-hmm.
I was never bullshitting people. I was always keeping it real in most cases. I never.
That's fascinating.
I'm not gonna tell anybody I never lied, because I did lie in my life. But long before 27, 25, I want to say, I kind of started taking a curve on it, because I realized the truth sets you free. You come to me and say, well, you did that, and I say, no, I didn't do that, and I did. Then it just drags on. Because it's gonna be another day when it's gonna come out, you sure you didn't do that? And this is, no, I didn't do that, and it's gonna drag on. But the day it came to me and say, oh, you did that? Yeah, I did that. What are we gonna do now? It dead.
It drops the argument.
It is dead in the freaking water. And because when I learned that, it's like,
it made things easier.
I don't have no headache after that, bro. If I just said that and kill it dead, I have no headache after that. Like, all right, cool. I'm killing it dead. I'm just killing every argument dead. And I think people like to argue. I like to argue too, but
there's a better way of doing it.
when you grow up the way I grew up and you see some of the shit I've seen, I don't think. I mean, a lot of people have gone through shit. I'm pretty sure, and they're probably gone through worse than me. But if you've seen the shit I've seen and been an idiot like me and decided to retain all that information and hold on to it, yeah, you got a problem. Because most people went through shit and just kind of went, it never happened. And they moved on in life. Next thing you know, they see of this place. Yeah, man, I had some shit. They cry about it later on 60 Minutes. Me, I held on that fucking bit of it. I never let it go. I wouldn't let it go. And I think my mother's starting to get the bigger picture in the sense with that. I hope everybody else can. I wasn't trying to fuck nobody up. I was everybody's friend genuinely. I just think different. And I move different because of what I think. It's like a football team. If you put me on the football team, I'd rather you put me in charge of the goal. Don't put me up with everybody else. I don't like people. I don't like people because I don't know if I can. Alright. I gave an example of the dogs. I tell people I don't like dogs. Really and truly, I love dogs. But why I don't like dogs? Because love and like are two different things. It's because a dog is dependent on what you tell him or her not to do or whatever. I love cats more than anything else in this world. Because you won't fucking tell a cat, hey, you sit down. Now I say that, and I had a cat that used to understand the word outside. When I said go outside, he'd go sit down outside. I couldn't believe that. But I do enjoy dogs. I just don't like the fact that they depend on somebody to make them move. Don't you have some free will, son? You are a dog. You know what I mean?
Well, free will in dogs
and then you got
could
some
be
dogs
debatable, but not in humans.
And some dogs you can't control. So it's like,
Yeah.
But you see, I grew up with a German Shepherd that used to follow me to the school bus, me and my brother. And somehow when the bus got back in the evening, he was there. So I used to think he sat there all day, and I come to find out, no, you go home. He just knew when the bus was coming back and go back. He never walked on a leash. I never had him on a leash.
Okay.
He moved when I moved, or when me and my brother moved. Whenever we moved, he moved. We stopped, he stopped. If a dog came to attack, he didn't go to the dog unless the dog got close to us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he could sit down, dogs would walk across, barking him, whatever. He didn't attack nobody. But the minute they were coming towards us, he got up and defend. And I was like, that's how a dog should be. They're saying, well, the leash, come here. Oh, and when you get home, you tie him up. Oh, it's like, what the fuck? That's not a dog. That's a dumb fucking dog.
It's a prisoner.
Yeah, it's a prisoner, and that's the word I'm looking for. It's a prisoner, and I don't believe in keeping nobody in a prison. I've always done this with every woman I was with. I think that's my biggest problem. You can put on whatever you want to put on when you go out. You can wear whatever the fuck you want to wear. My trust is not in the dress. My trust is in you. Because you could dress like a clown and go out and still cheat. Doesn't matter what you put on. You can still do whatever you want to do because it's a choice. My trust is in your choice. That you'll go out, be tempted, and just look at it and say, boy, nah, I'll walk away.
The only thing.
But that's me. That's not them.
Yeah, that's the hard part because society forces people to move now. A certain way, look a certain way, talk a certain way, think a certain way, which is bad, right?
Yeah.
It's really, really hard to find great women to talk to now. It's a broken problem.
Because
Seriously.
it's money, you see. If you can find a woman that's not driven by money, you find a good woman.
You find gold.
Yeah.
Right. You just found yourself
$1
million
that's,
anyway.
That, we're gonna quote it just like that. If you can find a woman that doesn't love money, you will find gold. That's exactly what it is. You'll find gold. But there's 99% chance they're gonna love money.
Oh hell yeah.
Because the story of Adam and Eve tells me exactly that. Because the apple was the money. So now every man, after the Adam and Eve story, every man is trying to plant their own fucking apple tree.
Interesting thing.
So every Eve can reach in and pull the apple. And they learned that through Satan. Remember when Moses said he came back down with the 10 Commandments?
Moses.
Everybody was worshipping the Google, the money. Everybody was down there and they looked at him like he was the idiot.
Yeah, for staying up there, waiting for 40 days.
Yeah,
up
while they were
high,
partying, having.
yeah. And they
No, that's the part that gets me because they're still not there decided. Right? So it's like.
oh yeah, I mean even me, who is.
Everybody has it. It's finding that balance, but. I mean, I think I can be single a long time till I can figure that one out because I can't put my heart back out there like I did. I don't want to. Relationships are tricky. There's a song it was written. I think it was fucking early 1900s. I feel like it was 1920 odd or 1919. I haven't looked it back up. Everlast did a cover of it. It's called "Only Love Can Break Your Heart." And just the sentence alone tells me I laugh at it because it's like, yeah, duh. There's only one thing that could break your heart. It's love. Your heart can't get broken no other way. So if your heart's broken, you can't figure out why. You just know it's love. What is it that you love? Figure that out. And what is love?
Okay.
Because my wife told me I don't know a thing about it. And fucking hell, all I've ever done was love, I think. So it made me like everything I went through after that split, I had to redefine friend. I had to redefine love because she told me I didn't know a thing about it. And if I didn't know a thing about it, everything I was doing to you was pointless because you didn't like anything I was doing to you over the 11 years of your friendship, being there for you, letting in my car when you were there, doing all those shit. It meant nothing, pretty much. So I had to redefine that. I had to figure that one out again. Like, what is it? Because if I did it wrong for 11 years and I'm married, it got it wrong, then I got to redefine that whole thing. What the fuck was I doing?
Well,
I don't believe in controlling people. I don't believe in telling people what they should or shouldn't do. I believe I'd be good to you, you'd be good to me.
it's tricky. I mean, if I'm gonna place a factor for
fucking 20 minutes, that's not your time.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, okay, interesting topic though. But let me try a new way to read this.